Hi again everyone, how's all doing? So yes, it's another Hornby Black 5. I did one of these, I think it was just a couple of months ago. So initially thought, I'm maybe not bother videoing this, but what the heck, you never know what might crop up. So this was sent to me by Hugh, and he said he took this apart as he was having problems with it, but he became a bit unwell and hasn't really managed to get it back together into working order. So he asked if I would take a look at it. It's a non-runner at the moment, so we'll get it to the bench and we'll have a look and see what's what. So this is the Super Detail model. It's the R2857. Let's get a look at it. The tender's okay. It's got a little hole there, so it looks like somebody's tried to wire it up to the locomotive at some point. Certainly the connections on the drawbar are all mangled, as are the pickups. Hugh did say that. It's quite understandable. You know, you take one of these things apart, getting them back together is not easy. They're really, really fiddly. Hugh also said that the valve gear was broken. This one here. And he's stuck it up with a bit of black tack to keep it out the road so it would still run. This wheel's all locked up. So yeah, I can also see a bit of bendage in the rods, especially that rod there. Wow. So we'll get this apart and we'll see if we can get it back together properly. But not my favourite models to work on, these made in China models. Just far too fiddly. Ridiculous design. But hey ho. Let's just lift this off. The wire's at least connected. Yeah, and there's a block there that the bearings sit in. So once that's in position properly, come on. That should sit okay. Shall undo the front bogie. We can undo that. Come on, out you come. There we go. Let's just remove this tape. It's too much of it. Get off. So that all looks okay. We just need to sort the wheels out and sort the valve gear out and sort the contacts on the drawbar out. And I think we'll be okay. So the drive gear looks okay. There's not much point in pulling the wheels out. I'll give them some fresh oil. Other than that, I think we'll be fine once we get these pickups bent into a usable state, because they're all pretty mangled and jangled. Right, I think that'll be a bit better. So fiddly, these things, because everything's fighting against you. You've got to try and wrestle the pickups into position. But the wire is pushing this plate up this way. This spring is pushing these wheels up this way, and the bearings are always wanting to come out. So the thing kind of has a life of its own. So it is a bit of a fiddly wrestle until you manage to wiggle the thing into submission. Come on. Get in there. Don't do that. Get in there and stay there. Like that. You get in there like that. That's all fine. Right, okay. Just realised I haven't put any oil in the axles. I have to lift this out again. Can't believe I forgot to oil the axles. There, that's all looking. Oh no, that's still not right. I'm still not happy with this underframe. It's still not sitting on the chassis right. Get in there. Why is that not going down where it should? That's better. Right, we're not all locked up now, so hopefully that battery's dead. Ooh, don't like that noise. Well, it moves. It's making a horrible noise. It could be one of the pickups is still a bit out of shape, and I think is possibly hitting the spokes. Alright, so I think it's all going to have to come out again. I need to adjust that pickup. Sometimes these things really try your patience, but I never like to be beaten on these things. Right. Come on, out you come. Don't mess around with me. Right. This one here is hitting the spokes. So I want to bend it in the way and then bend that bit out a bit. There, that's probably better. Alright, do this fiddle again. Okay, it looks better. What does it do on the track? Nothing. Oh, help me. I think the red wire has broken on the pickup. It's kind of not surprising, you know, because it's so fiddly getting these things together. You do tend to wiggle them about an awful lot. So is have one of those wires popped off? Yeah, the red wire's off. Jings, crivens, help my bob. It's just been one of those days. I took this apart again and I've soldered that red wire onto the pickup. I thought I had the camera running. I didn't. I hate doing that. That really annoyed with myself when I do that. But got it all back together with a bit of cursing and swearing. So let's just see. Does this run now? Yes, it does. Big kick there, but I think that's just the broken valve gear. Yes, so that's sorted. So now I can turn my attention to this broken valve gear. Don't know how well you can see this, but this little piece here should be stuck onto there. Kind of like that. Right, so a couple of days later, I had a good look at this valve gear, and the chances of repairing it are zilch, to be honest. Now, Hugh had said not to bother fixing it, as it'll still run, just with this little piece here, black tack out the way, but I'm just not happy to hand back a locomotive in that state. So I had a look online, and I found a replacement going for a reasonable price. Still way more than you would normally expect to pay. Now, normally I'd go back to the locomotive owner and tell them and ask them if they were happy to pay for the part, but on this occasion, I'm just going to pay for the part myself. Just going to take the hit. You know, I've had some valuable donations lately, and some PayPal donations via my coffee, link in the description. So it's only right and fair that I give some back now and again. So today is Hugh's lucky day, and here is the replacement valve gear, which is on the house. This doesn't mean it's always going to work that way. I still expect people to pay for their parts if they send me stuff, but as I say, it's only fair I give some, give back some of the generosity that's been thrown my way now and again. So there we go. So I've already removed the broken one, and we shall fit this nice shiny new unbroken and unbent one. I'll get my tea out of the road first. Alright, okay. We shall very carefully slide that into there. Like that. That's going to go on there. We'll get this bit screwed in. Like that. That on there. Screw that in. And on the other side, I'll straighten that rod up a bit. That all looks fine and dandy, I think. We'll get a wee bit of oil into everything. So there we go, nice shiny new valve gear fitted. Just pop this on the test track. And it should run fine. Right, so all it remains is to sort out the contacts on this drawbar, and I think we're just about done. So it's not uncommon for these to get a bit mangled. This one's actually okay, it's just the one on this side. We shall just bend it like that, and then bend it in a bit. Not too much. That'll probably do it, I think. Okay, I'm going to cut a long story very short here. Connected up the tender and ran this on the test track, and it seemed okay. I tried it on the layout and it ran for about 6 inches and stopped, and just kept doing that. It would just run for a wee bit and stop, and it would not run round a corner at all. If I removed the tender, the locomotive ran fine. But as soon as I put the tender on, it just ran very erratically and wouldn't go around corners, which was a bit of a puzzle. But it was behaving as if it was if the tender was short-circuiting. So I've checked everything over, made sure there's no short circuits anywhere, made sure everything is wired correctly. One thing that got missed out when I didn't have my phone on record was that this one's a little bit different than similar models I've worked on, because there's wires to both pickups. So the red wire goes to one pickup, and there's a black wire goes to another pickup, rather than the red wire just being connected to that screw there and relying on contact between the pickup and the chassis. So it is a bit, it's a more reliable configuration. But I checked it all over. Everything seemed to be absolutely fine. Now, I must have spent the best part of a day on this, trying to figure out why this would not run correctly when the tender was connected. And I still don't know. It's a bit of a mystery. However, I did notice that these two terminals here, where the wires are soldered to the pickups on the tender, is a wee bit loose, and whenever I touched them, it would run okay. So I thought maybe I've got a broken wire, but no, that didn't seem to be that. It just seemed to be wiggling those seemed to solve the problem. So I stuck a little piece of cocktail stick between them, just to wedge them apart, if you like that, and it runs absolutely fine. Now, I can't figure out why that is, because the wires are connected to the pickups. The pickups are not touching each other. I've checked everything with the multimeter. Everything seems absolutely fine. But without that little piece of cocktail stick, this tender is shorting the locomotive. And I've given up trying to figure out why that is. So we'll leave the little piece of cocktail stick in there. We'll put a little piece of tape over the top of it. But what the problem is there, I have absolutely no idea. So what I probably should have done is to try resoldering those two contacts, but to be honest, I don't see anything wrong with it, and I'm a bit loath to start messing around with it. Shoving that little bit of cocktail stick seems to work, so we'll go with that. There's nothing wrong with a wee bodge now and again. I do wonder if the reason Hugh had a go at fixing this was because of that problem. The tender was shorting the locomotive, but it's just bizarre that it's just those two little terminals there, just wedge them apart and it's fine. Very strange, but that's just the way it is sometimes. Hopefully that's it. Right, we shall go and pull it out the shed and see how it goes round the layout. Okay then, out she comes. So there we are, another Hornby Black 5 sorted and running again. I'm sure there'll be others. So yeah, a bit of a weird one this. The wiring's clearly been subjected to some jiggery faffery, and the pickups and drawbar were well and truly mangled and strangled, and it had that broken valve gear. So sorted out the pickups, the drawbar, fitted a new valve gear, and I thought that was going to be that. But it turned out to have that very weird issue with the tender, which seemed to have an intermittent short circuit. Shoving that cocktail stick between those two solder points on the tender pickups seemed to resolve it. Sometimes models are just weird. I also gave the wheels a good clean and cleaned and re-greased the gears, but that didn't make the edit in this video. I was well and truly cursed with the old forget to press record phenomenon with this one. Nice running locomotive in the end though. It seems to be pretty smooth and stable, but I can't stress enough how finicky, fiddly and subject to failure these Hornby made in China models from this era are. Super detail or not, be very careful with them and expect the unexpected. Right, I shall get this packed up and sent back to Hugh, and I'll catch you later, folks.